What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Line Blog. You know I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on, I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel. And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we'll have lots of good commentary inside that book to help you navigate. How can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family? You guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl, Erica. Thank you. Oh, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Erica from the Classic Line Blog. You know, so many people say, Erica, Black people's spending power, that's a myth. That's not a real thing. And we're just going to go there for today that your money is power. It is a tool. People are convincing you, trying to convince you that your money isn't worth anything. So just be frivolous with it. Why buy a house? It's too expensive. Just rent. Why buy a car when you can lease it? There is an entire marketing machine aimed at, unfortunately, the low end assets and the low end education about your money. And it gives you very, very bad marketing tools about your money, honestly. And so I want to do this video because I think people go, oh, Black people spending power is not a real thing. It's a myth. And I go, but it is. There's literally whole neighborhoods made with check cashing places and buy there, pay there, and rent to own housing. And literally there's parts, they went to Atlanta and bought up 19,000 homes, because they knew it would be easier to get you to rent a home than you to go through the process of pre-approval mortgage and then literally make a decision of buying a neighborhood. Like they know that. This is an old business model. This isn't a new business model. As far back as sharecrop and all that stuff, this is nothing new. So for you to disrespect yourself and say your money doesn't have power is insulting. I know I keep saying no spoilers, but if you haven't watched the movie Sinners yet, shame on you. It's been out 2 weeks. They literally, the plantation, the reason when I asked older Black people, why didn't they leave Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, all these places? If you look in the movie, it was a very important part, because so many people just think, well, Black people just should have picked up and left. And if they would have not been drinking their money, they could have picked up and left if these areas were so bad. They were literally paying people in these plantation wooden nickels that you can only use at the store that's owned by the plantation. You can only use it in certain places. And this is a real thing. This is still a real thing. If you looked at Elon Musk made a store called over there to his company called the Boring Company down there in Bastrop. They have money they can use at the boring store. And I said, no, Elon, we can't do that in America. Come on, man. But you can use regular cash, but there's also work money you can use at the boring store, because this is an old thing. This happened with white people too. If you live down the street from the railroad or certain places, warehouses in old towns, they would be like, oh, they pay you in this money and you can get your flour, your supplies, and everything you need from the corner store. But it wasn't real money. It wasn't real money. You couldn't leave town with it. You couldn't go somewhere. I mean, they've done company towns. Thank you. That's the name I'm trying to think of. This is a real thing historically, but people don't even remember what happened 3 months ago. You ask people how long Donald Trump been in, it's all his fault. He been in here 100 days, y'all. Less than 100 days. But if you talk to the average everyday person, if you turn on TV, it's his problem, because I see him on TV. I mean, it's real sad, the lack of memory. And this is why when I tell y'all, and I don't be trying to be smart ass, I'd be like, if you just read a little bit, if you just do a little bit more than the average person, you'll be rich beyond your wildest dreams in this country. And that's some of the clips I have today for y'all. I'm gonna go over them because I think it's important to always, come with a mindset of like, this is one of the easiest countries in the world. It's disgustingly easy. And it was easier for our parents. So, you know what I mean? Not 1950s back, but I would say about 1974 forward. Let me pull that back. Let me even go 1984. like I'm always very cautious. Like if I meet an older black person that's 65, 75, 85, I realize they've lived in a whole different America from me. But after 1984, come on, man. I can't even listen, cool breeze. The funniest thing is what many people won't understand is black people in the South always say never take wooden nickels. And that's why I was like, people are not even going to understand in this movie. He's showing that they used to get paid in wooden nickels. That's the whole joke. It's like older black people tell you all the time, don't get paid in wooden nickels because they were paid in wooden nickels. Paid in wooden nickels. That's just so crazy. Imagine working 40 hours, 60 hours a week, and somebody paid you in a wooden nickel, y'all. Yeah. Anyway, let me show this stuff. Let me get moving before I get energized. And y'all be like, this not the energy I need at lunch, Erica. Calm down. I know, but I'm just telling you. Let me do this.
We brought in $1.3 trillion last year as a people. Out of 226 nations on the earth, that makes black people in America the 8th richest nation. We brought in $600 billion more than Spain, $700 billion more than Mexico. Yet Spain has 46 million people like we do, and they maintain a 208,000 square mile landmass, and they have their own everything. Mexico has 131,700,000 people, and they're maintaining 771,500 square miles with half the money we have. Yet they have whole countries, and we don't have nothing we can call on. Something happened to us. We got to get back into what they call today financial literacy, but we got to do it quick because we got to start doing something for ourselves. We got the dollars. We just need some more sense to go with them dollars. We need some more sense because right now we the leaders in unnecessary spending. We always buying stuff we don't need with money that we don't have from people that we don't like to impress people that we don't even know. And the Negro, the black mind right now has been hardwired where happiness is connected to spending when it needs to be hardwired to investing and to save. And if we can renegotiate the contract in the black psyche, well, happiness to spending, to investing and saving, I think we'll be able to build a bright future for our people.
And this is where you hear a lot of older black people say, just
Right
save
now,
your money, save your money, save your money. I'd be like, that's not the answer. Saving it is not the answer. Investing it, buying something. When you start talking to people and they sold grandma house, but they won't even take care of grandma house. They won't cut the grass. They won't maintain. Again, maintenance needs to be in your daily vocabulary. The reason people were able to pick up land and properties off people who owned it, paid their money into it, is deferred maintenance. Nobody wants to sell their home that they bought. Nobody wants to sell grandma home. But grandma home got a hole in the roof. It's got holes in the walls. It's got mold. It's got a raccoon in the bottom. It's got possums going in and out that mug. It's got stuff going on. So they're willing to let it go at a discount because of deferred maintenance. Because they refuse to just simply go over there, cut the grass, throw some, some ant bombs in the house, throw some, bug bombs in the house and clean it up. Well, Erica, they don't know how to. YouTube got lots of videos. I want you to understand people make a decision somewhere in their head that it's better to get that 30 to 40, 50,000 from that house than to keep that house. They've made the mental decision. Right. And so when I talk about the land grab course, which I have like 2 more videos going in there today. I'm sorry, I'm working through it, but we have till May 5th. After May 5th, it'd be $497. It really needs to be more than that. But for now is that because I got to add, the videos into it on a daily drip schedule. But part of why I'm doing this is as I speak, I'm telling y'all, I'm literally on the phone with people who are willing to give up land that somebody grandparents bought that they don't care about for $10,000. It's insane. And I know the area where I'm calling, and I know those black people worked hard for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Your money is money. When you lack alternatives, that's a problem. When you don't think, well, man, I could do this with it. They don't want to think about it. They don't want to think about it. Okay. So let me get rid of that one. And I ain't trying to go all Talcum X on y'all today. That's not the whole point. The point is just so you realize this country is built, like people come to this country and they look at y'all like, what is wrong with y'all? I just don't think y'all understand. Let me just play just this little clip. Aaron's friend of the show. We've actually ate lunch several times in Las Vegas with Aaron. Me and my significant others. We've actually met each other's significant others. That's the hilariousness of it. We went on a couple dates. So as much as people think he's a grouch, he's actually a sweet person.
Get this other one. What is this? MIR network? The Boomerang Boomers is returning to work the right move. Retirement is something most workers look forward to. This transitional period brings the promise of leisure, travel, enjoying the fruits of your own labor. However, a new trend, unretirement. Oh, is that the clever buzzword this week, boys and girls? Unretirement. Oh. Tell me you're an unemployed journalist. He's taking a hold at workplaces of all kinds, from the average small business to the largest enterprise. Baby boomers, roughly those born between 46 and 64, are now returning to work. Great. There are many reasons why this trend has taken hold. Unexpected financial challenges. There you go. At least you were honest. Crushing boredom of unstructured days. Or boomer entrepreneurs experiencing the unfortunate collapse of their business. Oh, man, you're mad. But is returning to work the right move? Generational challenges and changing workplaces mean boomers might be in for more than they bargained for. Here's a look. Can you open this PDF file for me? A Man on the Inside. You guys got to watch that TV show because it's very well done, very charming. A young gal, she's a private detective, and she needs to hire an old man to infiltrate a senior living community. And when she's interviewing everyone, she's like, okay, text me a picture. Just text me a picture. Any picture, just text me a picture. And they're going, I don't know. And the reason she hires Ted Danson as the main character, she hires Ted Danson because he can text her a picture because he's not a fucking idiot. Numbers show baby boomer generation is indeed returning to work at record numbers. Approximately 1 in 5 Americans age 65 or older are now employed. Doubled since the last 35 years. But why are they boomers boomeranging back to the workplace? Hey, that's zany. A few converging factors. For many boomers, the rising cost of living and the economic uncertainty of the post-pandemic era have made returning to work necessary. Well, maybe if you didn't print off all the fucking money and
all right, Aaron's gonna cuss too much for me. YouTube's gonna already strike me on this one. Listen, come on. My own mother, who is 75, just went back to work because she determined her retirement funds are insufficient for the life she wants to live. Dominique Campbell, if she's sharp, if she's moving around, if it's not too stressful, I don't think y'all understand how many phone calls I've got from people from Dallas and Houston and Florida who are 72 and 68 years old and watch my channel and have booked a call with me. If y'all could hear there's tons of wisdom there. It's just a numbers thing. It's like, oh crap. I've set up this certain type of lifestyle. I don't know what TV show it is. Focus Minds, put the TV show in the chat. I'll go look it up, but I'm like, I've never heard of it. Who is calling my phone like this? Worrisome. Okay. But y'all would be surprised how many people call me. Y'all think I'm joking and this is why I be so passionate about this. And I be so passionate about my vacations and my breaks and my massages because I'm like, the number one complaint, people like, my body hurts. Oh, my body hurts. I'll be like, girl, get a massage. Massage? Who can afford that? I'm like, it's $75. And that's not at the dirty Asian place. I mean, just hand and stone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I really want y'all to understand like the amount of calls I get that really like, I have to take a break from phone calls. It literally oppresses my spirit sometimes. There's a whole syndrome called like an empathy thing where if you're, therapists suffer from it. A lot of people suffer from it. But yeah, that's why like y'all don't always see me post the Calendly link. It's like I'd be like, nah, I need a break. I love the thing about digital real estate, and I keep trying to convey that to y'all, is like every day somebody's reaching out to me for something. They're paying for a phone call, they're paying for classes, they're doing something, and I'm just trying to deliver the best service possible, as well as grow my business and educate myself to a better standard. But there's a good hour a day that I make phone calls. And if y'all understood how a lot of people overcomplicate business, it's not that complicated. You want to get on phone with people, it's too easy. And I don't mean consulting calls. I mean actually not cold calls. I would say they're warm leads, or I follow up with people that I'm like, hey, just checking out that property I saw down the street from my mama house that's been empty for 10 years, just seeing if y'all want to sell it because y'all not moving back in it. And they usually do, but just for too much. Anyway, let me put this one in. Again, shout out friend of the channel, Master at IT. He has some funny commentary here. I think I shared this on the wall. I may share it again because I love it. So anyway, let me just go.
And you're not on there getting no money, not on there making no connections. You just on that motherfucker being entertained. You're gonna entertain yourself to death. 2025 and moving forward is just not the time to be unfocused. This is the reason why people who are focused, people who do what they're supposed to do, say what they need to do, and don't worry about outside factors and distractions other than themselves, they're winning, man. And with the introduction of AI, with the introduction of automation and people coming from overseas, the people that can stay focused are going to win, right? The people that can outlast everybody else is going to win. The people that just love to be entertained, you're fucked. You're completely fucked. So there's a pain, man. There's a pain in staying stuck, like a serious pain in staying stuck. And trust me, time is undefeated. I'm talking about a flawless record, man. Time is going to catch up to each and every person listening to this. I do so much during the day. I do so much during the week because I fully understand that I got a limited amount of time, not in the day, but on the earth.
For sure. Listen, and go. He did a good 20 minutes of hot fire. Hot fire. He was on the treadmill. The phone died. He kept it going. I want you to understand, y'all. Like, I'm talking on the phone. People who are like, "Hey, I'm 45 and I'm thinking about doing A, B, and C." I'll be like, "When you want to do that? You gotta get started now." I'll be on the phone with people. They be 62. I'll be like, "When you gonna do it? You gotta do it now." There's nothing worse than dying with unfulfilled dreams. Like, there's something I always tell y'all, like, and I've told y'all this for years on this channel. There's going to be a 2-year window where I have it all like outlined. There's this science fiction book I wanted to write, per se, and it's a whole series. You know what I mean? Like a whole series. And I like outlined it and I typed it all up and I did all this stuff and it's just sitting in this file. And my friend's like, "Well, when you gonna write it, girl? You might die. You might get hit by a car." I said, "Girl, you right. I need to finish writing that book." Right. But it was, I didn't want to be George R.R. Martin, halfway through a series and can't finish the last 5 books. So, I had like, it's just sitting over there, but I know the time is coming. I have to sit down and finish it. Right. This just is what it is. Let me show y'all this clip. Because time waits for nobody. Did y'all drop y'all city and states in that chat? Let me see them. Let me see where y'all coming from today. Y'all hanging out at lunch. Let me show you this, and then I'm going to focus it to this is Dr. Amos Wilson. He died young. It's always questionable when they die a little too young. It's always a little questionable, but very hitting the knowledge. A lot of clips I've used of his over the years, but here we go.
How in just one weekend, we could raise obviously enough money to create our own banking system in one weekend. Professor Wilson, that last caller was reaching out.
That's in part the effect of the self-hatred, which leads to a squandering of economic resources. The inability of the Black community to use this tremendous economic wealth for its own interests is indicative of the issue we're talking about here today. Mm-hmm. I hope we get around to talking about, when I talk about the effects of dealing with self-hatred, one of the effects, of course, is the misspending of money. And
how so though? How does that work?
Because the money is misspent again to relieve pain, you see, to compensate for inferiorities, and because the individual has been reversed.
Pause, y'all. I gotta back. I just want y'all to understand. People are spending money because they hate themselves. Now you can say, "Nah, man, nah, I love myself. I did this, I did that." Listen. what's his name? The black guy that was a Dominican that's bleached his skin for all them years, and then now he finally stopped bleaching it. Sammy Sosa. You know how much millions of dollars he spent on treatments to bleach himself like that, and clothes, and like to have a wife that lets you do that to yourself, and it's just like, oh, it's okay, Sammy. Like, y'all, that's I mean, imagine being a multimillionaire, big, robust, healthy black man, and you bleaching yourself. Like you people would want to look like you. People want to be strong like you. People want to hit the baseball like you. Millions of children are inspired by you, and you out here bleaching yourself. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life. But that is how he's misspending his money, altering himself. I've seen women, like, I mean, I'm seeing African women bleaching themselves, Jamaican women bleaching themselves. Do you know how much money y'all spending on that? And eventually, how much money y'all gonna spend on that damn cancer treatments when they come out later in your life? People getting drunk to oblivion, people getting high every day, going to work, coming home from work, just high. People, instead of getting that therapy, saying, "Man, I'm unhappy," or something not going like I wanted to go, they really do spend money because they don't like themselves. It's a real thing, right? Like whenever I see, and I'm gonna say this, and y'all can take it however you want. I'm not a therapist. Whenever I see women with breast tattoos or face tattoos or neck, I'm already like, damn, baby, you all right? Somebody hurt you? Like just the aspects of women, the programming of women, and the high value we put on our face and our teeth and our boobs, like the triangle. When I see a woman done tattooed anything in the triangle or her teeth messed up, I'm like, oh damn. I don't mean just messed up crooked or, gaps or whatever, or kid like mine or like whatever. I'm talking about knocked out, fights, craziness, chipped. There's something going on there. Right? Now, I don't want to go all the way to the extreme where people have to look good for you to know they okay. I'm just saying it's the little stuff. If you pay attention, people are showing you what's going on the inside.
Which we'll have to explain at some later point. You will see a situation where almost inevitably the spending for getting over an inferiority complex involves spending the money with the person who gave it to you in the first place.
Wait a minute. There's something you have a thing about anger and resentment binding the oppressor to the oppressor.
Yes, and this is a part of the aspect of it, you see. You want to buy the approval. You want to buy, you mentioned even in the Garvey statement, you want to buy the products that restructure the image. And because you see, the essence of controlling people is to provoke a desire in them. And then, of course, have control of the satisfaction of that desire. You see? And that's at the foundation of the capitalist system and of the economic system, you see. And you can provoke that desire in them either through anger, through hatred, through direct tantalizing of the individual. See, the key to being in the ruling class is to create desire first and to have control over the resources for the satisfaction of the desire.
So provoke a desire, then service the need.
Then service the need.
Yeah.
But you also lay the conditions down for getting the need serviced. And that way you create the behavior in the process. And you create the personality in the process. So,
and those who can't get into that don't fit.
No, not at all. So the idea is, if you're cursed, often we say your behavior then will involve trying to get the person to remove the curse, which sends you back to the individual, asking their acceptance. And of course, often.
Okay, so one of the things there's so many jewels in this that we don't have enough time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna give y'all shorter because it's lunchtime and we all got stuff to do today. And I got phone calls to make and places to go today in Texas. I want y'all to understand, like, it's such a marketing. If y'all watch HGTV all them years before the housing market crash, everybody was like, oh, I'm going to put a grill in my backyard. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to put a pool in my backyard. I'm going to do all these things to my new house in my new backyard. I have older Black family members who have paid off houses, acres of land, still talking about getting a new house, and they in their 70s and they in their 60s. I'll be like, for what? To start the clock over for what, right? And again, it depends on what time frame you're talking to people in life, right? It depends on what time frame you're talking to people in life. I, I remember my mom bought her house off the lake, and my grandma came and saw it, and she's like, "This is just so amazing. We never had nothing like this." And we were like, "Grandma, y'all had a big old Victorian farmhouse. What are you talking about?" It was nothing like this, because you keep forgetting your grandparents. My grandma had 14 siblings and was done with school at 8th grade. Didn't have a choice. Her and some of the other girls had to be done at 8th grade. That's a whole nother story. Um, but they were well read, well written. My grandma could write letters on letters on letters to all my deployed family members. She was amazing. Penman work, read the Bible, all the stuff. I want y'all to understand, like, if you believe, um, all black people are bad and y'all not doing good, and you look terrible. There's no hope. I mean, some of the stuff I've heard y'all say online about black people, I've been like, well, baby, I want you to go find a bridge and jump off it, because it sounds hopeless. But you're trying to assimilate to something you don't even want to assimilate to. That's the crazy part. Like, what's so funny is watching all these white people lose their mind about Beyonce and all these black people. Yeah, you guys call us culture vultures, but look at y'all. And we start laughing like, I'm sorry, you're so limited. You don't know black people have been doing rodeo for 100 years. Black people have been wearing cowboy hats for 100 years. Black people have been all over these farms for hundreds of years. We have an America where people will literally go their whole day without seeing black people and be like, yeah, all black people are dangerous. And then they go to another town and be like, look at these black people just being all nice. And I mean, I was it Bill O'Reilly? Oh, yeah. If I could find that clip, I'll play it. It was Bill O'Reilly. He went to a black restaurant in Harlem, a fancy one of them black ones that's been there forever. And he was like, everybody was acting nice and well behaved. Nobody was hollering or cussing. And the way he was describing it was something out of a crazy movie, y'all. It was crazy. So I want you to stop placating in your mind these folks, right? These folks. They could be white, they could be Latino, they could be whatever. I'm telling you, I went to DMV the other day and them Latino people was acting up. I said, oh, I want to know Spanish right now. All of it, so I can start cussing some folks out because they're doing too much in here. But you got to realize it's just who you're encountering at that level. Who you're interacting with. So depending on if you're a black man going to a Latino country and this is who you idolize, oh, look at these Latino women, they're the best. Oh my God, look at these Latino women. They already know you acting like, a dog at the door. Like, oh, thank you, please, for acknowledging me that I look good. Thank you. Right? We saw 90 Day Fiance where the man was over there and the woman was Asian and she was calling him ugly and fat. And he was like, that's not nice. If a black woman had called him ugly and fat, he'd have knocked her up between a washer and dryer. He'd have elbow dropped her in public. He'd have cussed her out. But because it's this other person, they're like, oh, that's not nice. That hurt my feelings. Knowing you would never tolerate that kind of mess in America. But you're looking for redemption among others.
And they will.
And it comes out through our money. So let me get out of there. When we have a time in America where all these African-American men could be buying homes, buying land, buying investments, they're like, let me go drop $4,000 to run Brazil and then spend another $2,000 to $3,000 while I'm there. Come back to America and complain how America's not nice to me. And I just blew $8,000 of my money for a 2-week vacation. I mean, you have the resources. It's all up to you. It's all up to you. Let me get to the next. Let me get out of here. Let me go to the next video because I do want it to be eventually be positive. I'm just trying to and one of my most famous videos, that's how I know YouTube is very rigged, is Why Are Black People Poor? That's one of my most famous videos. It was on first page. The Latinos are upset they're not in the Sinners movie. They must be. That's what it is. Thank you, David Williams, the retail trader. Thank you for the $50 super chat. He's the sponsor of the show. I'm gonna get to the land park here in a second.
The Black community is poor because we do not have enough business owners. Most communities, when they come to America, the first thing they do is establish an economic base. They start creating barbershop, grocery stores, they open 7-Elevens, they create retail outlets and restaurants, all the basic amenities that they may need as a community. Some did it because at the time it was difficult to find work in a majority white society. but most because this allowed them to employ members of their community that probably would not go on to receive a higher education and who would otherwise remain unemployed. See, while there were times in American history why Black people did focus on building their own business, after integration, most of the efforts were placed on politics and getting a corporate job. While a landscaping business owner or construction business owner could easily make a take home pay well in the six figures, and at the same time employ members of their community, this type of work was replaced by the Black professional, who at times make a lot less, sometimes $50,000 or $60,000 a year, and did not employ any members of their community. Also, the Black professional and college graduate quickly became more of a status symbol within the Black community, kind of making it less likely that people will go out and start their own business, regardless of the level of income you're able to generate as a business owner. You can have an MBA with no money in the bank and probably be held in higher regard than the man who owns his own carpenter business with $1 million net worth. To change this, the Black community must focus on developing businesses if they ever hope to become wealthy as a community one day. The second reason the Black community is so poor is because we do not support the few Black businesses that we do have. In the book, The Jewish Phenomenon by Steven Silberger, he said, "Take care of your own and they will take care of you." He talks about a Jewish belief that if your group depends on the funding of others, it will be subordinate to that funding group. Because of many of the hardships that the Jewish people have faced, they have developed a sense of economic responsibility for each other, where they pride themselves in forming communities and supporting each other businesses. They know that their shared survival might depend on it one day, and are determined not to relive any of their past mistakes. There's a lot that the Black community can learn from the Jewish community. Support your community, and your community will one day be in a position to support you. This isn't to say that you hate on anyone else's community, quite the opposite. But when your group does not have any economic power, people will take advantage of you. All the shooting of Black people by police officers could be tied back to the lack of economic power within the Black community. There is very little repercussion today for killing a Black person. That's because most cops know that they can't probably afford a good lawyer to fight the system. If Black people are to move from the highest unemployment rate and from one of the poorest racial groups, they need to start focusing on creating businesses and supporting each other. And the third reasons why the Black community and Black people in general are so poor is because they spend their money on the wrong things. The Black spending power is reported to be $1.5 trillion, which is more money than I can imagine.
He just said trillion. And I'm not trying to be a language person because I mess up all day. I have a speech impediment. But I just thought it was cute. I was like, oh.
Most of this goes into housing, about 37%, which is understandable. But Black people spend twice as much on their clothes than they do on their education. And this is not surprising. According to a Bureau of Labor Statistics report, Black people spend more on their clothes, more on entertainment, more on their cars than they do on their education. And according to the book, The Jewish Phenomenon, the idea that Jewish people are cheap is far from the truth. Jewish people are the cornerstone of hard book sales, accounting for between 50 and 75% of non institutional hardcover sales in the United States, essentially saying they spend money on books. They also invest a lot into their education. It's one of the expenses that they are willing to spend big bucks on. They also understand that after getting a formal education, the goal isn't just to work for corporate America, but it's to take the skills that they learn from corporate America and one day start their own business within their community and employ members of their community through the business. To sum this up, the Black community.
Okay. All right. Listen. Yes, he has a little bit of the African hint in the voice. At the end of the day, what he's saying is good. 3 spots on. At the end of the day, there's many things I can say about this. When they always say, "Oh, they're not spending on education," I think Black people have more student loan debt than most. I think African American women and a lot of African American men have really high student loan debt in comparison to others, and we're not getting near enough. Like whenever I talk to African American people, are you going to this internship? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? No, I never did any of it. I'm like, why? And they always say, well, I had to work, or my parents couldn't afford it, or some reason. My nephew is not in school. He goes to do a trade here shortly at the community college, and he's making over 1,300 a week. Just doing the yards and doing a little bit of work for his other grandparents. And he was like, yeah, my friends can't afford to go to this some concert he was trying to go to. And I was like, well, baby, let me tell you something. Eventually you'll get to a point where maybe 3-4 years from now they'll catch up, or you'll really surpass all of them. Because at the end of the day, people find money for what they want. They find money for what they want and then beg for what they need. You always have a family member. Oh, Erica, oh my God, I'm about to lose my house, my mortgage, something's wrong. And then they out there going on vacations every 2 minutes. They out there shopping nonstop. You know, I come by and visit the house. They got a brand new car. Nobody told me, but they sure didn't pay me that money back I paid for their mortgage. You know, it's stuff like that. Stuff like that. That even in my family, I'd be like, okay, noted. I remember that. Yeah, you can make money degrading Black people. It's unfortunate because the Black people that need to hear it ain't even listening to these kind of videos. How you think folks gonna act when they start taking that 15% off the top from their paychecks every month? Baby, people, listen, the same thing people do when they get child support. They're gonna quit them jobs. They're gonna quit them jobs. They're gonna they're gonna file for disability. They're gonna do all kind of goofy stuff. I promise you. We can stop spending on clothes and entertainment and still be behind. Yeah, it's all asset conversation. It's all asset conversation. Let me get to the other one. I'm telling you, it's very low. I mean, when they had that lawsuit in Florida where they said we just can't find any Black plumbers, any Black roofers, any Black electricians, so the government let them slide like $48 million over multiple times on multiple projects over to white people, and eventually it took the Black trades unions or whatever in Florida to sue. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me see here. All right, here's the video I wanted to show y'all. Because it ain't, Black. It's not necessarily about it being Black. I just want y'all to understand, like, well, let me show this, and then I'm gonna show this other clip, and that's it. That's it. That's it. Now this is, I put it up here. Let me get Scuba to the head. What's right here? I think it was right here. Oh wait, thought I was sharing my screen. This dude live in Pensacola, Florida. Y'all know how
In
Florida
March
be.
2020, I started my company, Revitalize Specialty Infusion, and we partnered with specialty pharmacies and hospital organizations to provide nurses to the patient's homes. Home infusion therapy is, instead of a patient going to a hospital or an infusion clinic or a doctor's office for their chronic infusion therapy, we can essentially send the nurse directly to the patient's home. We have several million in cash, and that is accruing at 4.75%. And whatever we don't use in that month, we either let that continue accruing interest, compounding interest, or reinvest in other avenues that may produce greater returns with the least amount of risk possible. Our biggest expense would be the property tax, the homeowner's insurance, and flood insurance that we have. In addition to that, our next biggest expense would be a private school tuition for our kids.
I ain't gonna bore you to death on this. Let me scoot it up a little bit. Long story short, he asked the girl's daddy, could he marry her when she was 16? They were 16 years old. The daddy like, boy, if you don't get out my face. He went and he didn't want to finish school. He got a GED and was going to night school at the same time. What did I tell y'all for years on this channel? if you have a kid in high school and they want to take any college classes, it's free. It's free. It's free. The government wrote it up so that kids, and the reason we did this is the government was saying all these young Black men and Latino men are quitting school by 16. What can we do? They put some bills in place, and this is mostly boys anyway. This was a boy-driven bill. Oh, we are losing so many male students. How can we get them back? Oh, well, how about this? You can go to community college for absolutely free while you're in high school. So what it did is if you had a son and he wanted to do shop, home ec, repair, car, collision damage, all that stuff that's at community college, he could go for free. He could go for free. It was made for Black, Latino, and white boys. They weren't thinking about girls. They were thinking about boys and the massive dropout numbers in schools for boys. And so what did he do? He started going to the community college. And so I'm just going to scoot it up a little bit.
Daughter.
Started a landscaping business in high school, sold items he found on yard sales on eBay. Let's keep it going. His father's a nurse. Knock, knock on wood. His father's a nurse. This isn't new to him. Just like when y'all have moms who are nurses, it's not new to them.
I was health conscious and I had a passion for helping people. My end goal was to have my own practice as a family nurse practitioner. After 10th grade, instead of spending another 2 years to complete high school, I realized that I could shift that energy into studying for my GED, working towards my nursing degree at a community college in Rhode Island. My first job as a registered nurse was in the ICU step down, and I only had 1 week of training and orientation. I remember waking up every morning sick to my stomach, dreading to going to work every day. That start of not having the appropriate training, I believe it opened up a lot of anxiety and stress. I ran into a nurse that was actually doing infusion therapy. Wasn't really quite sure what that exactly was at that time, but I do remember her saying independent contractor, and me as an entrepreneur and having a brief understanding of that resonated really well with me.
This boy started working as an independent contractor in infusion therapy while finishing nursing school, while he got his GED. Y'all don't understand, like a 2-year window can completely change your life. Now you're gonna say it's because he's young, he ain't got bills, he ain't got kids, Erica. But there's countless other people I can show you that are young that did this, and I'm gonna show you the one after this is gonna be the final video, and we're gonna go over it. But let's finish. And just for those who like Erica, the screen's going too fast, I can't read it. Infusion therapy delivers medication or fluids directly into the bloodstream via IV by a licensed medical professional. You are a phlebotomist. And you go to old folks' homes and you can literally give them some IV treatment. This is really upper levels is cancer patients. Lower level is you drunk and hungover in Las Vegas and get the IV in your arm.
I realized that there was a huge need for nurses in this space. My goal and mission was really to replicate what I experienced going from a very stressful environment to now something that I look forward to seeing my patient. So I started the business with less than $1,000. It was just a couple weeks later, that's when COVID was announced. While I believe infusion therapy is certainly a growing industry, I do believe it was just being in the right place, the right time. Our value proposition was not only the compassionate care that we strive to provide to the patients, but we also provided a cost-effective method for those pharmacies and hospital organizations. So I remember starting out seeing patients myself, calling nurses, training them myself, and I soon realized that if I was to continue doing that, I would not be able to fully fulfill that mission I had set in place to help as many patients and as many nurses as possible. Our goal was to be a community-based business. By growing a concentrated team of nurses within just a few states, that really allowed us to be able to...
I'm sorry to skip ahead. I'm gonna skip ahead.
and, putting the house back together. And of course, when COVID came, the market for housing drastically increased. So the house that we bought for $140,000, we ended up selling that in September of 2020 for $310,000. And we walked away with $175,000 cash. That allowed me to use that as the working capital to really grow the business.
He also received 2 PPP loans for $111,000 each. Both were forgiven that year. And again, now you're gonna say, Erica, you showing me this? Why are you showing me this, boy? And I just want you to understand, like, it doesn't take much. Once you start the path, it's a template business. All he did was just do what? Buy a house. They manually fixed on the house themselves with sweat equity, right? It wasn't a beautiful house. It wasn't a giant house. It was a house in Rhode Island. Boom. Okay. Sold it for $310, hit the PPP loan. Now you're gonna say, where he was lucky. He was lucky he went to school early. He was lucky he did his GED. He was lucky his daddy was a nurse. He was lucky. Man, it won't lucky. It's very simple steps. It's almost so simple it hurts. Now you can say, well, Erica, what if we don't follow those steps? That's okay. You don't have to follow those steps. There's a lot of room in this economy and this society for all types of ways to make money. Now I'm gonna go over this one. This is, again, we're a land focused channel. At the minute, we've talked about land and tax deeds and tax liens forever on this channel. We've done detours and into other careers and other fields, but we've always gone back to the importance of land. So let me look and show you this. That's what I'm saying. When you start, you can't even argue with people like, oh, it's because he's white and he's lucky and his daddy. And I'm like, he had a GED, y'all. He had a landscaping business. He was nervous in there being a nurse. Like, it still went into his job. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to keep that a book. Okay, let's go here. Theater mode. I'm fine with it. Okay, is this the right time? No, it's too far. Let me go back. Right about here.
Maybe we should turn the clock back a little bit. If I understand it right, so you started this in 2018, right? So the land investing world was a little bit different back then. What were you doing back then? Like, were you working a job, or like, how did you discover the land business? What made you decide that this was something worth trying?
Yeah, it was a job, man. It was $170,000 good paying job outside of my, MBA degree. So it wasn't bad. Life was good. I had a Camry, brand new Camry. I bought it for $38,000. I used to in Austin. Life was good. Everything was fine. But I had the itch. I knew that job wasn't for me. And that was also the year that I migrated to United States. So a lot of things were happening. And, if you are migrating to this country, you can't just do whatever you want to do. You have to be with an employer, whatever. So I took a job, and it was a nice job, as I said. But then I was looking for stuff that I can get myself out of the job, and then I kind of ran into some of these things. I did not start here. I started with Rich Dad Poor Dad, spent a ton of money with those guys. I actually become a professional options trader. I used to do options, and so I did that for about a year and a half. Quickly come to realize that I need money in stock market to make any kind of serious money, and say, hey, you know what? Let me go find some money first. And in that pursuit of let me go find some money first, I got into real estate because I found wholesaling. And I'm like, man, this doesn't take that kind of money, and I can do $10,000. And the plan was to take all that money and bring it back into the stock market to again start my options trading game, which I still like. But that's how I kind of ended up. It was one of the Facebook advertisements on the right. You can make money without any money. I'm like, that's me. It's created for me. This is for me. So I was like, okay, sign up. And that's how we
Okay, I just want y'all to understand. I'm gonna let him continue the story. Old boy was making $175,000 a year tomorrow. Make money in real estate with no money. This is why I want y'all to understand. No matter how much money we give people, they'll still be like, I don't have no money. I can't do it. I'm sending 40 grand a year back to India. I'm broke. I just want y'all to hear that. I mean, again, he's an engineer making $175,000. He ain't got no money. Okay, let's go.
kind of got into land.
So when did you migrate to the US?
2011.
And that was because you were getting an MBA at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in Penn State, so got my MBA, did my 2-year thing. I came down to Texas in 2012, got a flavor of what Texas is. and then came back down for my full time. And ever since, I've been a Texan guy.
You're from India originally, correct?
Exactly.
Is India different?
I just want y'all to understand how he's like, I've been a Texas guy, Texas. And this white man immediately went, anyway, you from India, right? I want you to understand, I understand immigrants being upset. Like, baby, I've been here. I've been in this country like 20 years. Why y'all doing me like this? Right? Like, I get why they angry. Like, you can give your all, and somebody's still gonna be like, so anyways, you from China, right? Yikes.
Different from the US at all? Or is it basically the same country?
No, not at all. Absolutely not. Not a tad bit. Hey, you know what? There are quite a few similarities. Okay, good people. We like democracy. We like to have a freedom of speech in mind. So that's what I enjoy about India and the United States. Other than that, we have differences. Culture is different. People are different. The way approach money is different. We live on credit cards here. If you ask my father to open a credit card, he's like, ain't gonna happen, not in this life. He still have this bundle of notes that sticks somewhere in a pocket that you can't see. It goes like inside somewhere that you have to stick that money in, and all he can spend, the cash he has on his hand. That's it. Once you run out of cash, you're done. So yeah, it's a different place, different food, different people. But yeah, it's good.
As a Native American, I always hear stuff about how America is the land of opportunity and all this stuff. And to me, it just seems like, okay, that's the standard. That's normal. That's just what I grew up with. You seem like a really smart guy. If you were to be dropped off with only the clothes on your back in India tomorrow, or in the US tomorrow, same situation, could you find opportunity and make a life for yourself in either place? Or would it be easier in the US or easier in India? Or how do you think it would compare just in terms of the opportunity in both places?
The way we have opportunities in the US, we don't have anywhere else in the world. Period. End of the story. This is an entrepreneurial nation. We have so much here. I mean, if you ever to make a fortune, the odds of making a fortune is highest in the US than any other country. Like the way we promote entrepreneurship, the way we have funds and resources, you can go into a freaking library. It's free. You've got computer, you've got internet, and you can build an app for free. All you have to do is show up every day, any library. I don't care which city you are in the United States. You have a library, you have an internet, and you have a computer. Okay, you can walk in and you have books right behind you, which tells you about programming. You can open that book and start coding stuff. Okay, and you can build a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar empire. I mean, WhatsApp got sold for $14 billion at the time. It's a freaking app. That's all it is, right? And so, my point is the resources that we have here, and sometimes I see people not taking advantage of it. That kind of hurts me because I have seen people not having internet, not having computer, and they want something as basic as that. If you can sit in an AC that is working, and you have a computer, and we have book, and we have internet, and that's how every big company is built in the United States. Instagram, Facebook, you name it. It's not made out of like oil fields. It's made on an app. Somebody thought about it, sat on it, and built it, and now they're multi-billion and billionaires. So that's the opportunity that's found in this country that you will not find outside of the US. Now, I'm not saying that there are countries that not have libraries and all that kind of stuff. 20 years back, that wasn't the case. Internet was a novelty, okay? You cannot just find internet in every house and every place, right? Now it's like, okay, everybody has an internet. So there's great things about this country that doesn't exist anywhere else. The opportunity, the people wanting to share knowledge, want to grow each other, it's different. At least that's what I found. So if you want to throw me anywhere, just throw me back here in Texas. I'll be good.
Yeah, I actually saw a YouTube video a while.
Okay, I just thought that was so funny. He like, this man is like, I'm a Texan. I love Texas. And this man's like, anyways, India. Like, had to start you all back over. Hell no, bitch. And again, if you can go watch this on your own time. He only started doing this land investing in 2018, y'all. That's just 6 years ago. That's why I want y'all to understand, like his company now he don't even do infill lots. He just does big 10 to 30 acre stuff, and they just subdivide it and bust it down because they know that's the fastest way to get in there. They didn't start their year one. He only been doing this 6 years and I think he has 44 employees. I think he recruited every Indian person he could find. Okay. I just want y'all to understand this is the type of mentality you're dealing. This man came here, got a master's degree, was an engineer, and was like, this ain't it. Let me get on the American dream. This ain't it. What is the American dream? It's land. And so again, this man said, you want me to drop you off back in India, or you want me to drop you off in America? America. I tell people this all the time. Drop me off in Texas or North Carolina. I'm still gonna tell you Texas, because if I have a car, man, it's unlimited. It's unlimited. If I came here with no money, had to start all over again, and I had a phone, I mean, I would be doing Uber. I would be doing medical couriering. I would get that rolling every day, something that could put cash in my pocket every single day. Once I've done that for a while, I would switch over to something that gives me leverage. Of course, my biggest thing is like credit cards in America. But again, people don't want credit. You can see his daddy don't even want credit. Don't want to use it that way. But if I couldn't have access to credit cards just because of whatever reason, but I would be here and I would be every day, I'd be rolling Uber, medical couriering, delivering packages. And then I would get myself to a position where I could do something where I'm on the phones calling people, making sales, some type of technical job space out here. Because everybody named mama like, hey, you want to come work? I can get a referral bonus and I get paid if you get hired. That's how a lot of these places work. And it's just, it would literally be 6 months of that. No partying, no distractions. 6 months of like, let me work, deliver every day, run around, drop off people for Uber, have a clean car, and have somewhere to stay. And in a year, I'd have a lot back. I'd have like 10x back. But it's like, once you know how to do something, it's nothing. Once you know you can get on the phone and you can talk to people, it's nothing. Once you know you can hop on, it's really like, I've interviewed in places I didn't even want to work. And I didn't even have good energy when I was in the interview. They were like, man, I bet you get offers all the time. You're a really great interviewer. And I just tell y'all, people don't be trying. People don't be trying. Like, I've interviewed for places and people like, I really like hiring people who are down on their luck. And they're like, that's not you. And I'd be like, okay, well, I applied for the job. You got to realize there are people coming out here out of their house, like almost begging. And people are like, yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like right there. I'm begging. And I'm like, that ain't me. Sorry, wasn't raised like that. I remember this guy was like, what about this trailer out in, it was this way country part of Texas. I was like, baby, I can live in a trailer in North Carolina. I ain't come to Texas to come live in a trailer. I came to Texas to make some money. When there's a bunch of Mississippi license plates over here. Like, the shocking thing at this brand new hotel is the staff is black. Like the front desk people are some poor white people, but the staff is black. And I was in the hallway and I was like, hey, how you doing, sis? She's like, hey, just doing good. Because there's a lot of black Latinos here. So sometimes they be speaking in Spanish, acting like they don't know what you're talking about. Hair be courses or whatever. Okay. And so I want you to understand that people are coming here and they peeping game. Even in this interview, he says he started to get comfortable. So he says, you got to keep challenging yourself to new stuff. And he says all his Indian friends are like, no, buy a hotel, buy a storage unit place. And he's like, why would I take $1 million and do that when my real money is the people in this office that be making phone calls every day? That's my real money, is these people. And you got to realize that the other end of this spectrum is like, the real money is people. A lot of people won't get this. It'll go over a lot of people's heads. But I just want you to understand, like, a lot of if you listen to what he said, it hurts him to see people not taking advantage of America. You see what I'm saying? And that's what always shocks me, because it's the truth. And that's why when they're like, a lot of y'all have comments, stop immigrant worshiping, Erica. It's not immigrant worshiping. It's if you ever travel out of this country enough, if you go all over the islands, and I know a lot of black people who have not even been to Jamaica, been none of these islands, Cayman Islands, you'll see why these people get on a plane and fly into Charlotte and never return, fly into New York and never return. Right? They just caught that boy in New York and shipped him home, and he was mad because he was selling drugs in New York since he was 21. He kidnapped somebody, went to jail for 10 years, came out, was still acting foolish. And they sent him home to Jamaica at 42. And they were like, the lawyer in the case was like, oh boy sends crates of stuff home. Like, this ain't nothing but a money position for him, right? He's in America, but he's still not thinking clearly as a Jamaican. Like, I'm not coming all the way here from Jamaica to be in America to be selling drugs. I'm going to use that accent to my ability. I'm going to do all kind of stuff to my ability. Yeah. People be calling me all kind of stuff on here. It be cracking me up. But bottom line, people are making excuses. Listen, you let Tone Talks tell it. We all 2 feet from getting cut off from diabetes and falling down the stairs. I mean, I just can't. I don't know if he mad with his people because they didn't leave him no money or what, but it's like, baby, what's done is done. I heard y'all sent me a video clip where he was talking about his grandma didn't even have money to bury herself. I was like, y'all, please don't play this to me. Don't show me this stuff. This makes me angry. Very angry. But yeah, you got a computer, you got internet. Again, if you had to drop me somewhere and I don't have a car, that's the opposite. I would have 2-3 jobs where I'm on the phone all day with one of them headsets because they deliver those to your house. Them little call center jobs, them little customer service phone jobs, they're paying $22 an hour. They paying $15 to $22 an hour, and you just sit in the house. Y'all can't tell me nothing. I remember this man called Kevin Samuels' channel, and he was saying he had a remote job and he was watching his kids, and Kevin was like, man, go get some more work. You're a bum. And I want to say, nah, between him and that girl, if they can't afford no daycare, somebody got to be home half watching them kids. That's a real job. So, there's a girl, I think it's like work from home, Cali. Yeah, they'll send you a computer and everything. That's why I be telling people they will send you a computer. They'll pay for your Google Fiber. They'll do all this stuff. That's why when people be telling me, oh, I can't stay at home. It's too much noise. Now, I have been on the phone with people and they got a whole dogs in the background. They got kids making noise. It sound like a car wreck in the background. I'm like, get your life together. But in general, if you can make it work for you, you ain't even got to have a car in America. That's why I be like, a car is a bonus depending on what city and state you in. But if you got good internet in your house, you got a cell phone that works, man, you can make calls all day. Boop, 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 boop. You can make it work for you. There you go. I mean, you got to get in where you fit in. Where is it? I thought somebody had a comment. Jet Life said they're working in school towards respiratory field. Congratulations. I used to know a couple. The man was in respiratory and the wife was a nurse. They did a bunch of travel nurse stuff during the pandemic. They took a break off for like 2 years. They made so much money during the pandemic. But they were also mentally exhausted afterwards because you're dealing with people dying, all kind of stuff. But why did I show y'all this again? I know y'all get tired of me showing y'all the whiteboard of truth and justice, but I gotta show it to you one more time. And we'll wrap this up here. When I show this, what I'm trying to show y'all and what I'm trying to talk about is base and survival is that 5K to 10K, that 15 to 25K. I know people can get their hands on 15K. If they call enough people, they run around, sell a car to sell some stuff, they can get their hands on it. But this is really where a lot of people are, right? It's just this lower amount is where people are. Bank CDs, partial stock, dividend stocks, base, just survival, just surviving, like just enough to survive, right? But they can get their hands on these lower amounts. But if you go up above that, 30,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, 125,000, as you go up the ladder, like creating digital websites, reselling cars and houses. My nephew just picked up 2 cars off the side of the road, getting ready to resell them. I mean, this kid's a little genius. I love him. Reselling houses. You can go in a house, clean it up, turn around, resell it, right? Reselling land, e-commerce, building houses, buying assets and buildings and becoming the bank. That's literally how the leveling up goes, right? The cheapest stuff, cheapest business, digital real estate. That's your Instagram. We talk about digital delivery warriors, talk about digital products. We're talking about all kind of online stuff. Reselling cars and houses, that means you got to have a couple thousands where you can go pick the car up, buy the car, get it fixed, get it painted, get it cleaned up, detail it, mobile detail it, and turn around and sell it. Y'all know every year them Latino people be selling them $5,000 Hondas from 1999 every year. And every year I'll be like, y'all still selling those? Do you know they still selling those? All right. And then the next level up on that is land. I'm telling y'all right now on Facebook Marketplace, there are Latinos selling land in full Spanish. They're not even talking to us. They're not even given an option to speak English. Don't call them. It's for their own people. And y'all gonna wake up and be like, oh my God, Erica, I can't even get access to stuff. Are they not playing with y'all right now? They're not playing. All right. Next is e-commerce. You have enough. You got 20, 30K. You can come in here with some ads and some inventory. E-commerce for you. Okay. Up from that, building houses. If you have 50K and you can get a construction loan, great. If you got 150 to 250,000, you can build a house or duplex every year and turn around and sell that bad boy for $500,000 to $600,000 every year, one a year, and live well. You know, you don't have to build 4 or 5 houses. I mean, that's just a bonus. You build 4 houses, man, you done made $1 million for the year. Close to it. Gross, not net again. Gross, not net. Buying assets, buying businesses, that's way up there. Like, that's why when people saying, I'm going to buy a business, I'll be like, did you skip all these other levels to get there? You must have 150 to 250,000. If you're just saying I'm skipping that, because the business owner, for them to sell to you and let you make payments, they gonna want some lump sum cash. So I just want to put that in front of your face, and becoming the bank. That's the top pinnacle, becoming the bank. Loaning your money, hard money loans, you're getting 12 to 15% interest. Any of these levels, you can become the bank. All right. When you buy bank CDs and partial stocks and dividend, that's you becoming the bank. You deciding to make your money work forever. So I didn't want to make this too long. Again, Dr. Chaz says SoFi, you can check out her, is right now, and it's affordable free game. Hey. It's not financial advice. It's just a suggestion. That's what I'm gonna call it. Pedro every year will buy that 2001 Civic every year. Right now, my nephew just picked up an old Mazda. He's like, the AC work great. I'm getting ready to sell this. I was like, wash it and paint it. Somebody, son, will come buy it off you. Prepare yourself. And it just is what it is. It's reselling is a thing. Reselling on eBay, reselling online. I drove this one neighborhood. I saw yard sales all over the place. I want to say, throw that junk in the trash and go get some more work about yourself. Sometimes you gotta let it go and go find the next level. But people will try to yard sell old stuff all the time. I just be laughing. I'd be like, go ahead and get some business about yourself. So anyways, this is what I have for y'all. I hope this wasn't too confusing. Hope you guys weren't lost. Thank you so much, CKJ3, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Also, Diamond Dave, aka David Williams, the retail trader. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for doing what you do, because again, it just makes the space on YouTube more well reversed. We have plenty of men talking nonsense. Listen to some folks who aren't talking nonsense. You know, listen to some folks who are educating themselves. It's important to diversify what you're listening to. Don't always take Erica Williams' word on it. That's why I show videos and clips, because I want you to understand, like, don't take my word on it. There may be somebody out there telling you can get everything you want for $500. Go listen to them. Go enjoy them. You can go get the land grab course there, 2025 there, or you can go grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate, from digital to. Also, some of y'all have sent me the emails. Some of y'all finally got your books. So sorry for that. Lulu.com was basically saying it was going to take 15 to 20 days. So just as you get them, take a picture, send it to me, let me know. I would appreciate that. Give me any reviews and testimonials. I also appreciate that. Listen, you guys, have a great day. If I get a chance, some of our tech folks may come join us for a late Tech Tuesday night show. If not, hey, it's been real. You guys have a wonderful evening.